out and, of course, have it here. Now, I've shown you guys this already. Wiz 8.
Aloha, everyone. I am Wiz 8.
Cool, huh? So we're at Wing Chun right now, and would you help us do a little training?
I am trained in the Sifu Z style of self-defense, which is a Wing Chun-based system. So, yes, let's get started. How would you like to start today's dirty dojo?
Well, let me see. We usually start with sandbag. So yeah, let's do some sandbag training.
Of course. The customary 10 minutes of sandbag training. Place me back into your device and we'll continue from there.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea, so I don't drop you. All right. So now, everybody, we're going to start as usual with our sandbag training. Now, some of you might have it hanging or hanging on your mukjang. I like to do mine with holding it, because if I'm holding it, then I'm able to kill two birds with one stone. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm getting the exercise of holding the thing, right? And then I'm also getting the hand exercise of hitting. Now, you can hit this as hard or as soft as you want. I suggest personally that if you're doing this sort of thing, to hit it lightly. Now, of course, train at your own risk. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. So train at your own risk. Now, hand development and self-defense in martial arts is critical. It's critical. If you out on the streets for self-defense, you don't have hand wraps, you don't have gloves or anything like that. So I've seen guys walk around with gloves on, but we don't have gloves. So our hands have to be relatively strong, right? Relatively strong enough to withstand impact. I say relatively, that's an important word in this, because relative is just so your hands don't get injured. If they are used to, let's say, I don't want to say punch, but used to stop a person, like with their face or something, right? The face is coming in. It would suck if you hurt your hand on a person's face. That's all I'm saying. So hand development is really important. Fingers, right? Finger development. Single finger development. You don't want to have your fingers easily grabbed or broken. So hand development, because hands are more likely, your hands are going to be the quickest thing, first thing out there, right? Your hands are going to be the first responders. So very important. That's why we always start a dirty dojo with hand development. Hand development, very important. Wrist development. Essentially the whole hand, wrist, elbow, even shoulder, especially if you have a hanging. Shoulder development. Again, not too hard, but just repetitive. Every day, or at least pick a day or two out of the week where you do this sort of development. If you can do it every day for a short amount of time, we do our training 10 minutes of sandbag, which is really quite substantial amount of time, given we're doing about a half-hour session here. So, like we say in Wing Chun, what we do a lot of is what's most important. If you go over to the Zeigler8.com site, I have the wizard up there, and there is a Wing Chun specific list of what we call fortunes, and that's available for you up there for free, no charge. And you can learn a lot from the magic orb, and you don't have to actually buy. If you want to, you could buy the orb, but this is available for free online for you to use, and it's really fun. Right now we are. I think we're going to go about a couple minutes over 9:40. Let's call it 9:42 California time. Yeah. These are my favorite strikes from Muay Thai. Steph T asks, when did you first start? At what age? I started training, you know, I used to know the number. Now I kind of don't know the number anymore. I started fighting probably about 6 years of age. I was 6 years old. Yeah. And however, I don't really count all those years because I was just sort of fighting, you know. I didn't start taking martial arts serious until I was about 30. Yeah, so about 30, 40 years ago, I started really focusing on what we train on, mostly Wing Chun. I've done a lot of other martial arts, of course. Jiu-Jitsu, one of my favorites, but it's just not. It's not the lifelong martial arts style that Wing Chun is. If you do Wing Chun properly, man, it's a martial art for life. It's something you can take with you all the way to the end, baby. Steph T with the great questions. Steph T, there was a guy that I picked a fight with in San Francisco many years ago, back in 1992. And he kindly, well, I was making fun of a Bruce Lee tattoo that he had on, right? So, all right, we got 2 more minutes. And so I jokingly asked him if he wanted to fight. He said, yeah, I'll get off in 10 minutes. And this guy proceeded to, now I've been a fighter essentially all my life. So at this point, I'm 30 years old. And this guy just whooped me something ridiculous. Like no one ever beat me. I've been beaten before, but nobody had ever beat me like that. That was wild. And he helped me back up, asked me if I wanted something to drink. Okay, well, let's do it again. And he just continued to just beat me until I realized that that resistance was futile. He asked me if I wanted to train with this guy he trained with Ip Man. The guy that he trained with Ip Man, trained with Bruce Lee and all that, right? I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I did. I went the next day, met a little Chinese guy named Chris Chan, Grandmaster Chris Chan, and he hit me with 2 fingers, flew through the air, hit the wall behind me, broke the wall behind me. And that was it. So Grandmaster Chris Chan directly was the inspiration, along with the guy's name was Sean. Thank you, Sean. I'm still out there. But honestly, I'm going to say my 3 biggest influences in martial arts in general, though, is Kamel Torki Aloha. Yeah, I'd say my main influences were one, my uncle, who was a Green Beret, taught me how to fight when I was like 6. Then Kwai Chan came from Kung Fu, of course, right? And then the third, you guys know, the third one is Billy Jack. I even have a Billy Jack video that I made on this channel. It's a short, it's a funny one. All right, guys, that's 10 minutes right there. Let's find out what is next on the agenda.
Great. Let's work on our abs and core. Without a strong core, the rest of the system becomes weak and vulnerable. We will do 10 or more repetitions of leg raises. Do 2 very focused sets. Vary the position at random.
There we go. Some leg raises. So yeah, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Very cool, Steph T. Involved in boxing, wrestling, and basketball. Unstoppable. So that's what you are, right? You are unstoppable. I got to be unstoppable. All right, for this next one, we're busting out the chairs. You can do this on the ground. You lay down doing this if you want to as well. But we are doing some leg raises. We're going to do 10 or more. You only need to do 10 if you're really focusing on your abs, your core. And if you do it nice and focused. So I'll probably just do about 10. But if you want to do more, if you want to do them differently, you can. Now, the magic orb suggested that we vary. So vary means you can do kicks, you can do scissors, you can do swims, you can do in and outs or circles in one direction, you can do circles in the other direction. So we'll do it like that. All right. Well, I tell you, Steph T, if you did soccer on top of all of that, holy moly. Soccer players make really great martial artists, by the way. It's the leg coordination thing. All right, let's bust out 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so I did a little extra. Is that so wrong? All right. Steph T, you liking these exercises? I will do one more set and then we'll refer to the magic orb to see what we got next on the list. So any of you out there wondering, what's that saying? I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time reading there. Chilean and la Chilean and the Chilean. I don't know what that is. Anyway, yeah. Anybody wondering about Sifu Chat out there? I haven't heard from him, but that's good news. He just got out of I guess you would say university of sorts, right? He was in school, and now he's kind of what I call setting a horse loose. So it's good that we don't hear from him. That means he's out there adventuring, having fun, living life. So we look forward to his return and have some fun out there for us. See from Chad. All right, second set. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I shouldn't go so quick. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. All right. Wonder what's next. Let me find out here.
Very good. Keeping with the abdominals and core, let's do 3 sets of 15 repetitions of reach backs. A simple twist and reach back on each side.
Oh, there's a new one. So, if you didn't hear that, these are reach backs. Did I play soccer? No, I always wanted to. Always wanted to. I grew up in the South back in the 60s. They didn't like colored boys out there on the fields. Not on the playing fields. So no, I always wanted to. And but it inadvertently got me into martial arts because every time I tried to get into team sports down south back in the 60s, early 60s, I would get beat up. So I learned to be comfortable fighting at a very young age. In fact, a little too comfortable. But we've uh, we've managed that over the years. All right. So these reach backs are very interesting. You get something, just something focused. I like a chair. A chair is a good focal point. I'm going to bring in a chair for you to see what I mean. So there's the chair. It's behind me. And the whole idea is you just take your opposite hand and you try to reach for the chair. Now, you can't reach the chair. It's too far away. I suppose if you wanted to, you could put like the magic orb, yeah, or something, right? And by the way, you don't have to buy a magic orb. You could just get any ball and use it for the various exercises that we do. One of the very important exercises that I've been working on is just balancing a ball. Doesn't matter the kind of ball or the size of the ball, right? But just balancing it on the back, just a simple exercise, nothing too wild. But back to our twist backs. Let's do it. I think we got about 15. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll go with 15. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, reach. Oh, well, thank you, Steph T. And you're given your qualifications, you seem pretty awesome as well. These reach backs really useful. You know, a lot of times you find yourself in this sort of situation where you're going this way, but you need to reach back this way. Especially somebody grabbing or somebody trying to put you into their guard, right? So this switchback, and it also helps to get your abs nice and, you know, get that area nice and flexed out so you're not stiff. Another one I like to do is just retouching the calf from side to side. They're simple exercises, but easy to overlook. And this area is important. This is like the center of our being. We used to think our brains were here. Did you know that? They weren't too far off. The fluids around our brain, same fluids in our stomach, and connect. So that brain stomach connection is actually a real thing. But yeah, our brains are up here, the stomach's down there. But they are connected like everything else in the body, right? It's all connected. There are no separate parts. All right, let's do the second set. Ready? Reach back. 1, 2. Oh, this is 2. 3, 4, 5. Let's check the time. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. These kind of remind me for some reason of an arm drag. Yeah, arm drag. Okay. Do we do one more set? I don't know. Oh, Steph T says I got in a fight at 5th grade because this girl pushed me into the wall on purpose. And that's when the girl said I was weak and pushed me again. So I threw punch and threw her to the ground and lock. Yeah. Hold her till the teachers broke us up. So you do a little grappling too. Yes. You know, grappling has a great, and wrestling have great purpose. On the streets, a little less so. In public situations, with family and stuff like that, or schoolmates, man, grappling is great because now you're not hitting, you're not like damaging. You're just holding the person, giving them a hug, right? Holding on to them until somebody comes and helps out with the situation. So good on you. Very good. Yes. You can hold them or push away, right? It's one of the most essential concepts in martial arts is this push pull, push pull, push pull. I don't mean to be obscene here, but in the Dutch language, in Dutch, thiek means what you think it is, but it actually doesn't have the same definition. Thiek in Dutch means to strike or to push and to pull. It actually has more to do with fighting. So pushing and pulling is a very quintessential element in any fighting that you're going to do. From sumo wrestling to boxing to wrestling, it's all push. Even boxing, right, is punch, punch, punch. That's like the punch is the push, but then the parry is the pull, right? Or the drawing them back and then stepping in, right? That's all push pull concept as well. It's more in boxing. Push pull is a little bit more psychological, uh, which is pretty cool. I love all martial arts, by the way. Yeah, you couldn't tell. It's just Wing Chun is the most practical for self-defense and health and fitness. Now, before we go, we got a few more minutes here. Let's find out from you know who what we're doing next.
Talk about leg positioning in relation to arm position.
Talk about leg position in relation to arm position. This is huge. It's the same in grappling, but when you're standing, it's even more important. So this is the bit of takeaway, a little bit of lesson that you get. You do a little bit of exercise, a little bit of lesson, and then you go on over to my Patreon where We train specifically in Wing Chun. If you're interested in that, go on over to patreon.com/SifuZ, and you can join us over there. Now, leg positioning. Let's do a little quiz. Is this good leg positioning? Is this good leg positioning? Or is this good leg positioning? Oh, this or this here. Let me make it more obvious. This or this. Double out, leg out, same arm out, or opposite arm, opposite leg. That's the little question. That's the question. Double out or opposite? Which one? Which one? Opposite? Opposite? So like this? Right? Like this? Like this? Yeah. Very good, Steph. Excellent. Yes, you don't want both out, right? You don't want out. You want everything that's out is vulnerable. So this has to kind of be more tucked in. Now, everything that's back here is less accessible. So this can go out now, right? When you change legs, you change arm positioning. Okay? This is one, if you are striking with the forward, right here, let me put this down so you can see. If you're striking with this forward, guess what? This is going, you're rather stepping in to the strike to make it more powerful, or you're drawing back. In either case, look where the leg is now, right? I'm rather advancing. Now look where the leg is. Or I'm retreating. And look where the leg is. Retreating. Retreating. Push. Push. Strike. Strike. Man, 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 man. This. You can tap at this. That's coming back in. Okay? That's coming back in. Always that back. Switching. Always the back. I've been training for many, many years. To this day, I see it in MMA and fighting, and perhaps not so much in boxing. In boxing, there's a different game going on. You're playing a little bit of a different game, right? Yeah. Now, in boxing, you can do this in boxing, in sport boxing, right? You can do this. But you know what? In the real life, this is just going to get pocked, and you're going to have this is a straight road. This whole system here is a straight road to your back. And even as a boxer on the street, you'd much rather punch the back of their head, this area, than the front. On the street. You're not allowed to do that in the ring. So, different rules, right? So, we're talking about self-defense, and we're talking about practicality in self-defense. If you're playing a game, well, now you get more reach if both are out. But still, you got to watch it. If you're doing wrestling, you're doing jiu-jitsu or grappling, then double same side out. I love when somebody does that. Personally. Yeah, like this. Oh, I love that. Yeah, because if you commit with a real punch this way, I'm not afraid of this punch. I'm walking right into this punch. I'm going to go to your back and finish the situation from there. So anyway, that's our little bit of technique today. If you agree with it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Uh, yeah. If you have other concepts, other ideas, I'd love to hear them. Yeah. That's just my $10,000 worth. So let's see what we have left here.
Thank you for joining us today at the Dirty Dojo. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We get together every Friday morning 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you next week. Oh, and if you'd like to use the Wiz 8 Magic Orb, go on over to Ziggler8.com, where you'll also find the Z8 radio. Aloha, everyone.
Aloha. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody. And I'll see you next week.